Hello and thank you for joining us for Community Crossroads. I'm Carolina Astrain. Here's a look at what's coming up on today's show. We hear from OnRamp Coastal Bend. We also hear from the Pumpkin Patch at the First United Methodist Church. We hear from a candidate that's going to be on the ballot in this November election. And we also hear from the Food Bank of the Golden Crescent. And first, we hear from OnRamp Coastal Bend. They just started a chapter here in Victoria, and they're all across the South Texas area. We now welcome Ms. Shirley Buckert-Vaughn. Welcome.
Thank you.
So talk to us about OnRamp Coastal Bend. What's y'all's mission and why South Texas?
Well, I'm very fortunate to know a group in College Station and who was giving cars away to hardworking people who just needed a hand up. They were working to be self-sufficient but without transportation. And you know, in Texas, we have to have a vehicle to get around, to get to work, to get to church, to get to your doctor's appointments. It's necessary for every family, and many in Victoria area do not have wheels.
Especially with our public transit lines declining by year by year. You're losing those essential lines, those essential routes that people depend on for their everyday needs.
And then if someone works in the county, lives in the city, there's no available transportation at all.
And y'all have recently come to the Victoria area just this year.
Yes.
Talk to us about some of the stories or some of the people you've been able to help so far.
Well, the first couple was a man and his wife. He had cancer recur, and they were going weekly to MD Anderson in Houston to receive treatments. Well, their vehicle kind of conked out. It died. It was going to be too expensive to repair it, and so they just could not justify. Of course, they didn't have the money anyway, so they were leaning on their relatives any way they could get to Houston. They've even had to cancel some of their appointments. And I talked to this young lady, and she was telling me about their plight, and I said, there's got to be a way to get you a car. I knew of a group in College Station that was formed 7 years ago because the father of the founder was a friend of mine that I met while we RV'd many years ago. The next couple, was a single lady with a teenage son. I knew her because she was a previous caretaker for my deceased husband. She keeps my dogs while I'm traveling. I came home one time and she was so down and out. This was like 2 weeks after we had given the other car. And she said, my car died. Same story. Was like, oh my, maybe I need to be helping people find cars. So I called again to College Station and talked to Blake, and he said, what I'd like you to do is form a pilot program there in Victoria and get you 3 or 4 people that you know well that have a similar heart to help people. And then y'all begin to raise money and find a way to furnish these people their vehicles. Now the third person was a single person who had been abused, lived in one of the shelters in town. She worked at a place that was just outside of the city limits, so transportation was not available. So she paid a taxi, $320 a month, to take her to work every morning.
That's a car payment.
Exactly.
Wow.
But she had a very gracious employer who took her home in the afternoon so she wouldn't have twice that coming back. So anyway, she was a delight. And we're looking forward to who may be our 4th vehicle recipient.
Well, let's go ahead and remind our viewers, or let them know, that they can go to onramptx.org
yes,
to nominate someone or nominate themselves if they're in need of a vehicle.
As they can also give or volunteer. We're looking for all the above. We need money to provide the vehicles. We need people who need vehicles, and we need people who will help us. And so all 3 of those opportunities are available on our website. It's onramptx.org/Coastal Bend. And in your comments, be sure to say that you're in the Coastal Bend area. We are in partnership with the OnRamp in College Station, and they manage all our funds, plus our bookkeeping and our website.
Well, thank you so much, Shirley, for everything you're doing to help people close those transportation gaps.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And coming up, don't go anywhere, we learn about a pumpkin patch. We'll be right back.